Here's the body language, even outside. They're beak clicking at each other. This is where they would normally like pull at the paper if there was any and start ripping it to shreds, but there isn't any like this. So I'm out here today. It is a really nice day, finally, and I decided I wanted to clean out the quarantine room a bit. So I moved the 2 quarantine aviaries out, and I decided I wanted to see if it would keep Jinx a little quieter because he's yelling back and forth with Comet and Tusa, who are at the front of the house, and this is at the back of the house. He's been yelling with them, so I wanted to see if it would make him quieter if I brought him into Ava's aviary. I wanted to see if they could share an aviary, not long-term or anything, but just right now. I'm a little worried that his toy playing is actually either to impress me and get treats, or a little bit of redirected aggression, frustration. Ava is just being a gem, as usual. As usual. So I'm gonna see if I can set her on the same branch. Hey, 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 no! No, no, no. Cannot do it. He got mad. She also didn't want to let go right away. Let's try that. You gonna be nice? He's already all heightened, so maybe this is not gonna work out. Maybe it would have worked out if I hadn't touched her. Bless you. Go back to playing. Play with that. He's like, where's my treat? I do have my hand in my pocket, so he probably thinks there's treats in there. So I will remove my hand from my pocket. Good job, buddy. What are you doing? Yeah, he's just too concerned today. It's not gonna work out. I'm gonna move him out. He's not helping the situation. He's just like a little too obsessed with being able to hear Comet and Tusa from the front. Why can't he just not care, Ava? Like you don't care. Your beak's already getting long. You guys can see her scissor beak on this side. We have to have that done every month on the dot. You're just the sweetest. Oh, Jinxie. Jinxie is escaping. I need to set you down. Good girl. Thank you. Alright, Jinxie, let's get out of here. Failed the test. Failed the test. So I want to make sure that it's really clear that I had zero intention of leaving Jinx and Ava in that aviary together without me actually there. That was definitely not in the cards. I just wanted to see how they would do in an enclosed space, because it's very different having two birds out sort of in the open, as you would say, like in a room together that's open, there's no cages, versus an enclosed area like a cage or an aviary, where they just interpret that space differently. And I like to think that my birds are not territorial of their aviaries because they're always switching aviaries. So Ava obviously didn't care, but Jinx is just, I mean, he was in a mood from the start. So thanks, Barry. So I'm not sure that that would go the exact same way if I tried again on a day that Jinx was naturally calmer, or if I could move Comet and Tusa off the property completely. There's no trace of them. Jinx has no reason to be obsessive because he just knows they're not there. That would be a different version of Jinx to work with. To be honest, I can't do that right now, so I'm just kind of tired. Oh, guys. But yeah, I'm just kind of tired. I did wake up on like every hour and finally got up at 3 a.m. this morning. But I definitely go back and forth on this from logical side of my brain to emotional side. I mostly err on the side of emotional lately, just with other factors weighing in. I think it's curbing my ability to think more logically and emotionally detached, which would be so helpful in this situation. It's such a disappointment when I feel like I'm making leaps and strides with getting Jinx to accept a bird and then seeing it just topple down so quickly when he's around Comet and Tusa. And part of me is like, gosh, just accept it, you know, just accept it, work around it. It is what it is. Not all people are going to get along. Not all birds are going to get along. So part of me is just like, why fight it? Let's just make it work. And the other part of me is like, hey, how many times did you believe something and then it changed just based on what you did and the circumstances and the environment? There's so many different variables that play into that. And so like, don't give up, but don't be, you know, obsessive. So I guess I just don't know where I'm landing right now. We are going on a flight trip, so that's going to change a lot of stuff. The last time we went on a flight trip, I didn't bring Comet and Tusa, and Jinx was so fantastic, and we had all those major breakthroughs. This time I'm bringing every single bird, including Blueberry, and I'm really excited. And I don't know what to expect. I'm probably not going to have them all out at the same time. I'll probably still have like Comet and Tusa out, Jinx and Ava out, which is fine, but it'll be interesting to see what happens to the whole dynamic on this upcoming trip. So I will keep you guys posted. Let me know if you have any ideas, any insight, what your opinion is on the whole matter. And I guess I will explain why it's important to me for Jinx to not hate Comet and Tusa. The reason why it's important is, as you've seen in these videos, they get into screaming matches. Like if they can see each other, they will just go into screaming matches. Like they're literally yelling expletives at each other. They destroy the bottom of the aviaries. It's a mess. It's hard to upkeep. The birds become very unpredictable, hard to handle, constantly heightened. It's not a state that I want my birds to live in. It's just terrible. It makes me feel terrible. And so my drive to have them like accept each other, I don't need them to be best friends. I just don't want them to hate the sight of each other or the sound of each other. The reason why it's important is just because of like the harmony of living, you know, just being able to have all my birds outside at the same time. I don't have the ability to have like multiple properties with beautiful aviaries and just separate my birds and still feel like everybody's getting a great life. I have to rotate them, which living in a place where sunshine is kind of like gold, it makes it hard for me. I want everybody to have as much sunshine and outside time as possible. And so my internal struggle comes with the rotation of who gets to go out and stuff like that. That just like, oh, I have a harder time with it. So maybe I need to get more creative. Maybe I need to figure out different housing things with my space. Maybe I need to look at housing 2 macaws out at my parents' aviary when that aviary is done, and the other 2 macaws here at my house. Like maybe I just need to change how I've always done things, so to speak, and kind of look outside the box. But I don't want you guys to assume I'm trying to force Tusa and Jinx to be buddies. I would just love for them to be accepting that the other one exists. That's ultimately like what I'm going for. I don't feel like I have a crazy high expectation, but it's super hard to achieve. It's super hard to achieve. It's like just me, right? Just me constantly thinking and trying things and either failing or succeeding. And it's hard because a lot of people that I feel like would be a great resource or knowledge base just don't do things how I do things. Like they don't have parrots as pets. They have these like facilities that they can utilize to great extents that I'm just not in that space, right? I am a pet owner, so it's not the same. So I'm struggling with like where to get the ideas to try stuff. So I don't know. I just don't know. And I think honestly, my brain is super foggy from all the different stressors going on right now. And I think once those like subside a bit, I'll have a lot more clarity. So my thought process right now is to just let it go, literally go with the flow, take whatever these birds will give me and work with that, because trying to figure out stuff is just making me even more tired right now. I just don't think I have the mental capacity. I think I need a few things to be lighter before I can get clarity. That's where I think I'm at. Yeah. Okay. So I will let you guys know how the flight trip goes. Bye.